There are four generations of served the flag. My father in the Western Regiment, Band Sergeant Major, served in Africa in the 2nd West Time Tour, Western Regiment. After war and during wartime, World War II, I joined the Royal Air Force and served there for 5.5 years. I returned home, and sometime when the JDF was starting up again, I was invited to join the JDF and become the first officer to command the Air Wing. For 2 years, I seconded from my engineering job at Ministry of Education. Then I went back to Civil Street. Not Civil Street. Civil Street is the term we use in the area. After war, I come back to civilian life. I went back to my government job. Then I left and formed a helicopter company. But my son Dudley, who was a cadet, left straight from Wolmer's and joined the Defense Force. When he left, he had learned to fly. He came here with over 100 hours as a recruit. And later after that, some years after, his son, Martin. So we have 4 consecutive families. After the war, when my father came back from the First World War, himself and all his colleagues, they lived in the perimeter of the camp. I was born just a little south of here, by Deanway Road, Franklin Town, and all ex-First World War veterans lived around Vineyard Town, Whitford Park, and surrounding camp area. I could hear last post blood nights if I was awake. So there's always a military, and all these military friends would come around and talk. So I grew up with a very strong military background. So naturally, when war started, and the instinct was to join the Royal Air Force, and I automatically volunteered. Then, with that same background there, my military friends from the Second World War, RAF friends, probably influenced my son too, and he joined straight from school, and correspondingly my grandson, Martin. Then we had a distinction some years ago, the first 3 generations of any in a fly pass. We had a fly pass on Battle of Britain anniversary. Reese Lane, led by my grandson. I was on right echelons and my son on the left. So 3 generations of fly pass. It's really history. I joined the Royal Air Force in 1944, February 1944. We were on, as a colony, we had to support the mother country, the war. We were their allies. Everyone against Nazi Germany. And that was before, it was after Pearl Harbor, anyhow. So the instinct for anyone to do is to join the RAF. Well, after going through square bashing, that's our initial training as a soldier, as an airman. Then I went to, I was waiting flying training in Canada. They were training pilots in Canada. And while waiting, I did my wireless course and gunnery course. But you see, they were not sending away pilots. We weren't losing so many pilots again. And all the efforts was for the second front, which is in Normandy. You see, so all the goods, everything was concentrated on that. And the pilot training was suspended. So we just went through there. Everything was if you've been following the news and the battle we've been losing and the battle we've been winning, and we were going through, the idea was to get into Germany, march on to Berlin. And so everyone was concentrated on landing in France. All troops, everything was going that direction. The vehicles and other things were lined up all over the countryside in England, to southern England to go across the channel. Well, the most memorable, I think, was when we were crossing the Atlantic in the troop ship. The troop ship it was usually in the middle of a convoy, about 20 or 30 ships, going at the slowest rate of the slowest ship. And our engine, we were in the middle and we were protected by a destroyer, Mother Goosing us. And our engine broke down one night. And we were left stranded in the middle of the Atlantic. And the submarines were still raising hell. So we just wait any minute if the torpedoes come after us. Eventually, we weren't even supposed to talk because the song would travel at night. We stepped there in silence, and early morning at sunrise, the engines were repaired and we eventually caught up with the submarine. That's the most frightening part. I've been in London while the bombs are falling, but you go underground. If you go to the cinema, what was interesting, you're leaving London, and you go to the cinema, and then it comes up on the screen that air raid is on, and you're about to get up and go to the shelter. And the Londoners there were so accustomed they didn't move, so you could not enjoy the rest of the movie.